Question for guys. Is there really a thing as a girl being tight? Yes. Different women have different tightness. There is no correlation with height, amount of men they've been with, if they work out, age, etc. I've had sex with a 40-year-old that gave vaginal birth to 4 kids, and I couldn't fit my dick in her and really had to warm her up with my pinky and then go up from there. And an 18-year-old that was so loose I literally didn't feel a thing. Tight fits can feel amazing or so tight it's almost uncomfortable. There are differences in anatomy individual to individual. In the same way there are many shapes of penis, there are many shapes of vagina. Being sexually compatible often depends on these physical differences. There have been instances where with previous partners, due to anatomy, PIV has been extremely difficult to the point of being a no-go. One could say too tight. Saying someone's vagina tight almost universally is seen as a compliment along the lines of your vagina feels exceptional and fits me like a glove. According to my boyfriend, he says that tighter vaginas exist that are still wet and sometimes he doesn't prefer them as it tends to hurt. But in general, tightness is mostly a matter of how turned on the woman is. Kedgels. It's all about the kedgels. Yeah, natural shape, as said in others' comments, but being tense can also have a big impact. There have been a couple times where girls are tense in sex. I don't know how to describe it, like the opposite of relaxed. They are still wet and into it, but it can make it very tight, making it difficult for me to enjoy the sex. It goes away with time experience. I get that if you're self-conscious it can be hard to relax, especially when you really like a guy and are worried about making a good sex expression. It would be a deal breaker for me in a casual relationship, but not long term. Mine is small according to my obgyn, only about 10 of women are my size. My old doctor years ago unprofessionally commented, I bet guys love having sex with you. Yes, vaginas come in all shapes and sizes. I had both my kids C-sections as my small size did not help when trying to deliver vaginally. I forget where I heard this, but I thought that was related to how comfortable the lady is. I've honestly never noticed nor cared about any difference in tightness. I don't speak for all men, but I'm sure a good few. Most of us are just happy to be there. Nervousness can make a woman tight, too tight. Then there's vaginismus, where it's too tight to have relations. So tightness can be bad too. It exists. Of the women I've been intimate with, there was certainly a difference. It was more difficult to hold back when you wanted it to last and make your partner feel satisfied. One woman I used to date whom I was deeply in love with made me want to release immediately all the time, so that meant her pleasure came first. Fortunately, when it was time for round 2, tightness wasn't an issue. But in the heat of the moment, it doesn't really matter, especially if there's amazing chemistry between you two. You're likely not going to have trouble releasing anyway. Of course, tightness plays an important role and it exists. Yes, but it doesn't usually matter that much. You can train your PC muscle to better clasp onto the penis. But honestly, those who had well-trained PC muscles, it actually wasn't that comfortable. Because it's only a very tight ring that contracts, and it can kinda hurt if it's too tight. The vagina widens after a while though, and then it just becomes really smooth, which is what really creates the enjoyment, at least for me. I had no idea that actually existed. Yes. It also depends on the time of the month, a bunch of different things. Yes, I've found that some are. Yes. It's just differences in body. Some people are smaller, shallower, or tighter simply because that's how they were born. Yes. Yes, but it's relative to the size of the penis. If you're concerned about this, look up Kegel exercises, which can have a huge impact on how pleasurable it is for your partner. I mean, you can just flex your muscles the same way you fake an orgasm. If you are really strong though, it just closes up like vaginismus, and they can't get back and you have to experiment.